Good evening, everyone. I'm doing a Bitcoin video, and this one is going to be really advanced technical analysis. So if you're more like interested in altcoins and just long-term investment and stuff like that, you might want to skip this one, or I don't know, just shuffle through it really fast. Or if I tell you straight away, I think according to this we're going a little bit lower with Bitcoin, so that's pretty much all there is for long-term investors. But for traders, I think this will be a really interesting one. So here you have it. I'm not a financial advisor. This is for educational purposes only. Um, you can pause the video and read the whole thing. So what I'm gonna talk about today is basically 5 energies, and this is actually trading. This is trading according to Topdogtrading course, or otherwise Dr. Barry Burns. He made this. He has this seminar or course or however you want to call it, and he's talking about 5 energies, and you're basically trading according to that. And there's a lot of material in there, so there's a lot to cover for today. And I'll cover all this in this example. And yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm already in a trade, so I already made my mind. So there's not really much I can do about that. We'll see if I had right, if I was right or not. I have my 3% risk, so there's not a real problem. So this is a 3 hourly chart, Bitfinex, Bitcoin. So according to the strategy, we look at 50 MA, and when the price crosses it, so right here, right here, I need to put this up. Yeah, but we see right here when we cross it, only here I start to count waves. So basically, I have a count here. Like this. And I'm actually using this cycle stochastic indicator with 532 are the values that I'm using. So this is first is like cycle high, cycle low, which is also the wave, low and high and low, and we had a little bit of complex retracement according to this. According to this strategy, we had a little bit of complex retracement, which makes it usually even better. What I mean, it makes it even better means that another swing down is even more likely. Okay, so what I'm looking at here is, so I have these 5 energies. So first one is trend. We said, okay, 50 moving average is down. We have fractals. This is just basically a fancy word for more time zones, and I'll go into that later. We have cycles. So we already looked at the cycles. So we just a little bit that I'm looking at stochastic indicator. And what stochastic is showing me right now, this indicator, is that it's angling down. We have this hook down, the K, which is a blue line, is a faster one. And then when we cross it, when we cross the D, which also is hooking down, that indicates that we might, of course not always, that we might go in the other direction. Of course, you can look back and see that it didn't happen every time, but let's say, okay, it hooked here, it went a little bit down, but then it went a little bit higher, then it hooked and it went down, but this stochastic indicator is bounded to 100 and 0, so we just really use it when we are using it for retracements or against the trend, because like here when we're going with the trend, it can get really choppy and we don't know when it's turning around like here. But now that we're actually against the trend on 3 hourly, we can use it for this. And then we have the momentum. So momentum is actually measured by MACD, and again I have MACD a little bit, it's modified, so it's 5, 20, and 30 for those, and this I can actually show you. The histogram is not actually the usual histogram, so MACD is actually the histogram, and signal is this line. I know it might be a little bit confusing, but really it's actually really easy. I'll just show you what I'm looking for here. I'm just looking for, okay, we had this, angling down, which is all right, and then another one. So we went from another kind of like a retracement. So this was a lower low, and now we had another lower low, and also momentum is down. Okay, and if you know MACD, it's basically moving average, convergence, divergence. Usually divergence indicates that we are turning, but we didn't have a divergence because price was lower and MACD was lower, so there's no indicator that we are going lower. I mean that we are reversing the trend. But what a lot of people don't look at is actually a higher low. Okay, a higher low, which, if this setup is correct, is here. And we see that this is divergent, right? I'll put this bolder. We see divergence. Of course, in case that this is going the way that I want, that I want it to go, but that I think it will, according. So we see the divergence. So what does that mean? So momentum leads price. So that gives me the indicator that, okay, movement up is stronger, and it's actually obvious from the price movement. So that is indicating that we want to go, we want to reverse at some point, but the lower low, so this one, this one, this one, and this one, was still higher on the momentum. So ideally, what would happen is this is going lower. I mean, this can be, choppy, it can go sideways a little bit, whatever, and then it can go down. Okay, that was terrible drawing. Let's just say that this is going down. Ideally, what I want to see is MACD doing something like this, which means, okay, we make a lower low around here with the divergence here, and then we have two divergences, one on higher low, but lower high. Oh, this gets confusing with every trace, doesn't it? So this was basically high, yeah. So we have a divergence here and here. So I gonna get confused while I'm drawing and speaking and making a video at the same time. All right, so if we get this indicator, so both of them divergent, then that is a really good indicator that we're going up. Of course, we're not there yet. So what I'm doing at the moment is actually I'm shorting this. So we have 5 energies. So I already talked about trend. So trend is down, and it's angling down still quite strongly. So let's give it, from 10 out of 10. I think it's, it's obviously that it's down. Fractals will go into that. Cycles, well, we are here in the cycle and we have this hook down. So we'll wait with this one as well. Momentum, we see we have the first divergence on the longer time frame, which indicates that we might turn around soon, but we also might turn around here. So that's not a really good for my short here. It's not really good. It's when you're looking from a longer term perspective. If you're looking for a reversal here, then it's a good indicator. But for my short here, because I shorted just about here, it's not the best indicator that we are actually already going up, because we have a divergence here. I hope I made some sense. So support and resistance. Do I really have some support around above this? And actually, of course, we like to have our Fibonacci's done, and as we see, it's exactly at 0.382. So this is definitely a strong resistance here, and we also have this as a previous low, which also acts as a strong resistance. So we definitely have a strong resistance there. Of course, the resistance up there is even stronger. So yeah, let's say that it's 8 out of 10. You know, I want to rate this trade. So how good my short was. This is what I'm doing right now. So then okay, we had all this covered. So we said fractals and cycles, we need to go to the lower time frames. And what I'm actually using is 3 different time frames to make it really interesting. I'll just copy this. And yeah, this is when it gets a little bit confusing, maybe, especially if you don't know this method. But just bear with me. I'm sure you can find something useful there. So this one is 3 hourly chart, and then I just divide them by 3. So 3 hour, 1 hour, 20 minutes. All right. So we already talked about this one. What does 1 hourly chart tell me? So it shows me this. Here we had a higher high, but we have a lot of divergences there. Okay. So you see this when actually it made like a double top, but the price went higher. So there's my first divergence there, and then we actually went down on the stochastic, and here we went up. So there's another divergence, and on top of that we have a triple cross, which is also reversal pattern. Sorry. So this all indicates that we're going down on 1 hourly. So there's my fractals there. So you know, it's showing me that energy is aligned. And let's see if there's something else here. Okay, we started going down on 1 hourly. We can see this here. So MACD is angling down in our the trade that I made. I shorted there. So it's going down, which is okay. You know, it's not too strong of an indicator, but it's fine to have as well. And then I have my 20-minute chart, and here is where this is where it gets interesting, because here what I have is okay. This is still good, but this one I paid a lot of attention to this thing, and what you see here is this low here was higher, but on MACD it was lower. So okay, you see this against this. That means that the price is pushing down on 20-minute chart. And another one. So our high here against the high here is also divergent. So to sum this up, okay, you can see it here. So we have divergence on the lows, divergence on the highs on MACD. We have all the cycles indicators on all time frames are angling down. 1, 2, 3. We have MACD angling down. We have divergence on the higher time frame, 3 hourly, of our low, this one, compared to this one, which indicates, okay, that maybe this is not the best trade on the world to take, but indicates that we might turn around soon after, after we make another low. And so what else is there? I think we covered all those energies. So let's bring those energies back. And let's rate the fractals. Well, the fractals, all three charts are angling down on stochastic indicator. So I'll rate this as a 10 because it really gives me a strong indicator. And cycles. Well, for the cycles, we were saying here that we're angling down, which on its own is not too strong. But when we see that we have divergence on the hourly, 1, 2 divergences, this is a really good indicator. So out of 50, I would rate this trade as 45 out of 50, meaning that there's quite a high possibility that we're going down, right? And just another thing to point to, or maybe two things to point to, even if we take a grander scale of things, and I just look at this as a wedge, just, yeah, I think we're kind of would also have to have, I think we're kind of going to this wedge, and also like the volume is kind of like dropping. It should kind of like increase here, follow up. And another thing that we can actually look at are the shorts, and we can see the shorts. These are 20-minute Bitfinex shorts are going up again. Okay, we had them. Okay, I had to put this on a higher time frame, maybe 1 hourly. So you see there was a lot of shorts, and then people that were shorting took the profits, but now people are shorting again. So the big players are shorting again, and the buyers are, we're buying, but now they're hesitant while the sellers are coming in. So this all indicates that we are really going lower. So for me, what is a take profit here as a short seller here? My first take profit, of course, will be previous. I might take a bit from the table before, but my major area to watch here is previous low. So this is where I'm looking at. But although I think we might have a reversal on the end of this wedge around 7,500. All right, guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for the support. I know this was kind of like more advanced. I've actually never made such an advanced, in-depth video, I think, but I'm actually not like experienced with all this. To be honest, I'm just learning this new method with Topdogtrading, but I'm spending a lot of time, to be honest, like 12 hours a day looking at the charts, learning and analyzing and learning. And I was looking for this setup for quite a while now, and now all of a sudden all those three energies, so on 20 minutes, 1 hour, 3 hour, they all aligned. So then I decided, you know what, I'll make a trade. And I actually already made a trade a little bit earlier, but then I got stopped out because there was like a bear trap there. And I got trapped because I was shorting with a stop loss here. And I got stopped basically on this little wedge here, which the professionals are taking advantage of these situations though. When you have like a double top and it just goes over a little bit just to take your stop losses. So here you have it. My main area to take profit is from 8,000. But I also will observe what's going on with stochastic indicator on the first place, what's going on with MACD, just to see where the momentum is. All right, thank you for watching. All the best to you. Good luck with your trades, and please like and subscribe, and follow me on Twitter. Steam it. I'm quite active all around the place. Good night.